I was told to deliver this message. You think you're invincible because you got money, bombs, guns, and planes, killing babies, innocent people. I think you're insane. Chaos and destruction is the name of your game. Somebody's got to stop you before the whole world goes up in flames. So he told me to tell you, I'll
fight for my brothers. We can go to war. Fighting for my father, I will give my life for. I feel so alone in this white man's world. Whip it in the kitchen, watch the fight turn pearl. Standing on the corner, standing on my phone, standing with my gangsters, but I'm standing on my own. If you got to be alone, split you like you be alone. Sacrifice my life, understanding each his own. Toast to the keys of success. Barely a rose on my breath. I've been a student since and we can fight till we see peace.
I fight like that. 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 I fight like that.
Let me holler at you for a minute, give you game. Real scrappy, love the bottom, Buddha bang. Trigger happy, and everybody in the game. You shot your family and didn't even know it, man. Same rules, same code, with a different slang. Struck him out, now they took him out the picture frame. Mama, don't cry, we gon' get by. 2 weeks later, got killed in a drive-by. Why must we fight amongst each other? Reach one, each one, teach one, my brother. I teach them how to fight on the grass and in the class. Snoop Dogg, all stars, yes sir, they coming fast. D1, football, we won. Now my son, Lil Snoop, yes sir, cause he won. Right on, fight on. We 100, keep it coming, dip, slip, slide on, light on.
I fight like that. 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 I fight like that.
Watching the warriors, the story of the rebels. You from the ghetto, then you know never to settle. I'm shooting climbing on the streets, I'm a pharaoh. Battling in African-American apparel. Fits on a t-shirt, youngins doing street work. Grinding till they teeth hurt, that's because they need work. Working till the feet hurt, trying to get my soul right. Used to be on old bikes, serving them that cold white. Wars in the winters, the block is hot in summers. Today's mathematics, we know it's strength in numbers. To the bosses and the runners, the hustlers and the stunners. We fight for the hundreds, we fight for the oneness.
He fights with the heat. He fights with the sleet. He said, I am who I am. I can't be beat. Nobody has won a war against me.
I fight like that. 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 I fight.
All of the nations of the earth as we speak are angry. They're angry because governments cannot suffice the needs of their people. They're angry because a few have gotten wealthy at the expense of the many, and the poor and the sick and the weak and the unlearned multiply. And the value of their lives are diminished by the rich and the powerful, so that when human life is devalued, that in the eyes of man you are unworthy of the gift of life, then it is easy for another human being to take the life of another human being that he or she has devalued. Black life in America is devalued. Hispanic life is devalued. Even poor white life is devalued. There's a way that I have to behave. I'm free, but I'm not free to rob you of yours. I'm not free to take from you what does not belong to me. So if I will construct my life according to these righteous principles, then between man and man, man and woman, between race and race, peace. Between rich and poor, peace. We have our beautiful Mexican family. This once was theirs. So you can't say to them they are aliens. That's a horrible word to use. I see my indigenous family here. Many tribes, but they're really one great nation of people that now must be reunited with themselves. So it's their time now, as well as ours, that God would intervene in our affairs and bring the bottom rail to the top. The government is not rehabilitating soldiers. When they send you away to kill. When you come home, they gotta reconstitute you for civilian life again. Make sure you have a job so you can take care of your family, but they're not doing it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, a woman can do anything that a man does, and the only thing he forbids the woman to do is the thing that degrades her. So how high can you go? High as you want to. Why would God allow the female to wear his attributes if you can't be a manifestation of that attribute? Women, you got to be set free. What God has put within you must be cultivated, must be developed, and must be used for the advancement of a nation and a world. I said to myself, Mr. President, why the hell don't you go to the wicked police department? Why the hell don't you stand up and tell them that you're killing of black youth and brown youth that's not gonna hold no more? Why don't you stand up? God's world is in need of a truth that will set up a government where everybody can live in peace under real freedom, real justice, and real equality.
This city has always fascinated me. the city of Frankfurt. Known to be a city of trade and economic growth. As a kid, I was amazed by handing over a piece of paper for ice cream, toys, and candy. Handing over such a paper and receiving a toy racetrack in return, I just could not believe it. Where could I get this magic paper? This idea I couldn't get out of my mind. I started asking questions and read every book I could find. I learned the money was backed by gold as a paper form to save us carrying it around. Something of real value behind the paper. But everything was changed. The value was capped and the gold standard, as it was called, was abolished. Since then, the value of money has been the biggest lie of all. The dollar bill is now just a paper subject to inflation and devaluation. This must stop. The solution, returning to a piece of gold that you can actually hold, and it holds value or even better cash gold, paper pressed and refined with real gold. A masterpiece solution, a forgery-proof, totally digital cryptocurrency. Here I am in the city of money, but not as a banker or a gold dealer. The Frankfurter Book Fair has invited me to read from my books that will help the world believe in gold again. Think Big will help show people how to be successful. I am very proud to be here.
Yes, yes, yes. That was payday. That was payday. Welcome, family, to another edition of Classes in Session. I'm your brother and friend, Brother Eric Teray Muhammad, coming to you live and direct. We are so happy and honored to have this celebration, and we get happy about our money, folks. And I came across that clip. I just had to show it again. That particular clip was so exciting to me that the fact that number one, that's our Let's Go Weekend convention that we do twice a year. And this was Let's Go Weekend 9. That was September of last year at the Atlanta, Georgia International Convention Center. It was a small gathering. It was only about 3,000 of us from all over the world, and we just really lit it up. And we're always happy like that because every weekend is a payday in Caribars, in Wealth Builders Worldwide, if you but understand and know. So you're going to be introduced to a lot of the culture today. You're going to be introduced to our special guest host who is here on the set, and he's going to move us further in the program in bringing on our special guest. So with that being said, let me go to the quick housekeeping rules. Make sure I have them right. Okay, we are going to hear from Mr. Cluis Cox, Mr. Ty Best, and there's going to be discussion surrounding not just the book Enemies of Success, but when you have a encyclopedia of wealth building and networking on 2 feet, you're bound to hear anything that's on his heart and mind, and we should be ready to receive it. Okay, so be ready for that. Pay yourself first, folks. You know the rules. You know, he who reserves a portion of everything that he earns for himself earns the right to wealth and success. So make sure that you take care of yourself. Your generations will thank you later. And then, of course, the 2020 Paper to Gold Run to Wealth Conference and Expo is coming up on the 22nd. It'll be from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. It's virtual. Get your early bird tickets. It's an $11 admission for a multi-million-dollar experience. www.run2wealth.info, www.run2wealth.info. Everything from private family banking to estate planning to real estate and land acquisition to the accumulation of gold. All of it is there for you at this conference. And then, of course, 10:45 a.m. This is our Super Saturday Power Call. And I believe it's Brother Consul Hotep who will be handling the power call as well as the 12 noon live presentation. You want to bring everybody to 12 noon. You definitely want to bring everybody to 12 noon. You definitely want to bring everybody to the power call at 10:45 Eastern on our event platform, www.goldrocks.info. And you definitely want to bring everyone to the platform tonight at 9 p.m. to get a prelude to what's really going on, what really goes on. So we'll be on at 9 p.m. Mr. Ty Best will be giving that presentation at 9 p.m. this evening. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have the distinct honor, privilege, and pleasure to bring to you, to this platform, a fellow wealth builder, a great friend, a great mentor to me. And there's not a lot that I could say about the impact that Team Audacity, that community has had on us, and on the impact that my brother has had on me, Mr. Cluis Cox. He's here with us. And I just want to thank you, Brother Cluis, for being a part of this wonderful opportunity to help encourage and educate so many others. And I appreciate the fact that you are willing to step forward and share your understanding of the book, your understanding of this opportunity, and being willing to introduce our guests and engage the interview. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, allow me to introduce Mr. Cluis Cox.
Good morning, Brother Eric, and thank you. I am so happy to be here. Trust me, the pleasure is all mine. So I am so glad to be here. But I have the distinct pleasure, as you said, of interviewing, if you want to call it that, Mr. Best today. As you know, Mr. Best is a free man in America, free 25 years plus. His wife is free. His 2 sons have never even applied for a job. He's an author, and he's a mentor of many thousands, perhaps maybe hundreds of thousands. So without further ado, I'm going to get right to it and introduce Mr. Best. Welcome to the show this morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, Mr. Cox?
I am doing great, Mr. Best.
And you, Brother Eric Tariq Muhammad, how you doing? I see you muted, Brother Muhammad. But look, let me say this. I'm texting somewhere. I'm talking at the same time. Okay, one thing at a time. Trying to get out of this. I'm always doing something. Okay, all right, here we go. Cancel that. Do that. Okay, here we go. I'm back. Guys, look. Number one, I feel honored as always to be asked to come and share my experience anywhere. I really do. And I feel like I've been blessed to have been on this journey of 37 years and have some insight into what we're doing and why we're doing it. And so, when Brother Eric called me this morning, I knew he was doing the thing, but I hadn't really thought about what to talk about. And so we was talking about 10 minutes to 8. Okay. First thing I got to say, Mr. Cox, this is not my time of the day. I function at night. Okay. So just to talking about be here at 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, man, I admire you coming every day to a class in section at 8 o'clock. Man, I ain't done that since high school. Okay. I didn't even do that in college. After my first year, I made sure all my classes in college were scheduled after 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. So anyway, thank you guys for being here this morning. Thank you for having me here. And so, believe it or not, Eric, in the last 5 minutes, I wrote down an outline of things I started just, ask God, I said, what can I talk about this morning? And so I'm gonna ask you guys to do me a favor, to keep me on track, Mr. Cox and Mr. Muhammad, is stop me and ask me a couple questions, okay, about anything that pops up, or let the folks, if they can, chat back, let them ask a couple questions, and maybe I can answer some of those questions as well. But I did put a little outline of a couple things I think I could talk about first. Or Mr. Cox, did you have anything you wanted to ask me first?
Well, I do have one thing, Mr. Best, if it's okay to interject right now. Okay, we're talking about enemies of your success. And I like to tell everybody, I don't even know if the book is still available now, but this book is almost 20 years old. And it is a phenomenal read. It's easy to read, it's easy to understand. So if you don't have it, and if it's still available, I would suggest that you get this book, get your hands on this book. If you can't get it anymore, borrow a copy, but don't ask for mine. Borrow a copy, read it. It's just that good to me. Everybody should read this book. But I do have a question, Mr. Best. We're talking about the enemies of your success. And I noticed in the first sentence of the first paragraph of the first chapter, you talked about lack of visions or dreams. And I've heard you numerous times, and if you talk to Mr. Best, any length of time, the dream is going to come up. So my question to you, sir, is why do you talk about the dream so much, and why is it so important to succeeding?
Wow. See, Eric, I see our plan come together. If you can see my note, you can see my little outline I wrote. The first thing I wrote up there was what? The dream.
Can't make this up.
I'm telling you, I mean, it's the first note up there says the dream. Why? Anyway, I'm gonna get there. Good morning, assalamu alaikum, brother Jamil Muhammad. Thank you for joining us this morning as well. To the family. Look, I cannot believe you. Anyway, just snatch that out of my head. Let me say this. This book, my wife and I, we're in the process of updating this and editing this, and we hope to have this available by September. We really do. Okay, and actually, this is the second edition right here. Okay, so then we're going on the third edition because by demand. Okay, you guys, I've got so many people who've got. I don't know what's going on right now, really, guys, because we've had the book for 6 years out there, right? And it's really been out of print for like the last 2-3 years. I think the last books I sent out maybe 2 years ago. Hey, good morning, Miss Shaniqua. And people saying, man, you got to get this book back out there. And I was like, okay, because the principles don't change. So anyway, let's get back to your question, Mr. Cox. I know this hour gonna shoot by fast. It's already 8:24, man. I ain't even got started. Let me say this, guys. I wrote that had the dream. And the first thing I said is answer your question, Mr. Cox. It says why. And I can only tell you this, that I learned after I got in networking. So I didn't know this, but they didn't teach this in college. I think it should be a course in, I'm gonna say by junior high. I won't put it on first graders, but by the time you're 12 or 13 years old, I really believe it should be a course in school, an hour class in school that talks about the power of dreaming. And I don't mean dreaming like in sleep. I mean the power of having some dream, a goal, something that you want very early. And so all my books are written on what I call a 7th grade level. I majored in communications in college, and they said if you want the masses to read what you write, you need to write on a 7th grade level so it's easy to read and easy for everybody to understand. And I've never got off that philosophy. Almost all newspapers in this country, other than a few, were written at that time in the 70s and 80s on what they call a 7th grade level. Okay, so everybody can read it, enjoy it, and understand it. You got a few intellectual periodicals out there, and believe it, they're a niche market. Okay, so anyway, I wrote the book so that somebody 12-year-old could read it, because I believe if we can institute that in somebody very early, not only to start dreaming, to have a dream, and then most important, to fight for that dream, to hold on to that dream and not let some teacher, some professor, somebody steal it from me. And I don't care how big it is or how small it is, I think it's critical. And I say this because now I'm at 20 years old, I started learning about the power of a dream. And then I started flashing back, Mr. Cox, on my life and realized that a dream was the thing that took me each step of the way. Okay, I didn't understand what I was doing. It was like some God innate thing in me. Okay, and that's why when I make the statement all the time, to God be the glory, I say that because I flash back over my life and I have no explanation for why I felt the way I felt other than to give God the glory. Because everybody didn't have that same kind of a drive or instinct. It's like Eric and I was talking about yesterday. My dad would always have me do certain things, and I go, he's trying to show me how to fix a window that got broken in the house. And I said, Dad, I don't need to learn that. So I'm gonna hire somebody to do that. I'm gonna pay somebody. He said, boy, where do you think I'm gonna get all this money from? And I'm like, I'm 9, 10 years old, have no clue. This is 1964, 65. I'm thinking to myself, no clue. He said, son, you got to learn how to cut this grass and trim the hedge up just fine. He was real meticulous about how the lawn looked. I said, Dad, I'm going to hire somebody to do that. I said, it was in my mind to say, I'm not going to do that. I can pay somebody to do that. Okay. I was always in the mindset, even as a child, about how to make enough money to pay folks to do the things I didn't want to do, like cut the grass, clean the house, cook, fix car. I didn't, so that's a dream itself. Now I didn't understand it. And then so when I started, and I'm getting to the chase for folks, and I'm talking to folks who have children, parents, grandparents, I'm talking to you. Okay, it's important that you get your young people to start dreaming. And I remember when I got the dream to go to college, I'm a fast forward. I had a lot of little things in between there, but I'm going to fast forward. So when I had the dream to go to college, that dream was put in me. I knew the possibilities. I talk about that in my book, The Dream Chaser Manifesto. Now, watch this. The only reason I knew it was possible, we tend to do what people around us do. Okay? If no one in your family's ever become a millionaire, then the idea of being a millionaire in your head is tough to think in those terms. You follow me? It takes a unique person to think outside their sphere of influence, their neighborhood, that kind of thing. Now, let me get to the chase. But my uncle, my mother's baby brother, had went to college. And because he went to college and graduated from college, and I saw he had a little bit better lifestyle, okay, bought my grandmother her first color TV back in the early 60s stuff. I saw things. I said, well, I got to do what he did. I didn't, I got to do what he's done. I got to figure out a way to get to college. Well, he got there on a football scholarship. I said, well, I get there on a football and basketball scholarship. I'm saying that's a dream. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. And that dream, as you've heard us talk on the power cards, you heard people like John Maxwell and people say, when you got that dream, Bishop Jakes talk, it will harness your energy, it'll harness your focus. That dream of getting a scholarship in college kept me going to class. Just enough to get by. I didn't overapply myself, but I knew I had to have a C to B average to get to college, so I maintained that. I did just enough. I didn't understand the power of excellence. I knew I did just enough. Okay? And it kept me out of trouble, kept me off the streets, kept me out of doing the wrong things, because I had this vision in my head about how I wanted to go to college. I still didn't understand it. So then at 28, when I got around people who talk about success, they started teaching about the power of a dream. That's why you got to have a dream. Even right now, if you're 55 or 60 or 65 years old or 80 or 90 years old, get a dream. I don't care how old you are. It's never too late to start dreaming. Colonel Sanders didn't get a dream till he was 65 years old. Get a dream. Get something you want that'll wake you up in the morning, that'll drive you. You got to determine what the thing is. And it's a conscious effort. Now, that's why it's so important. It drives you. I'm going to tell you something else, though. Okay? I wrote down why. I hope I answered that question. Why dreaming? That's why I tell you, look, we can train you on how to do carry bars all day long, but until you know why you want to do it, you're not going to do it. Until you got a big enough why that will compel you to cut off the television, cut off the radio, stop playing Call of Duty, stop playing John Madden football, stop spending 30 hours a week in front of a video game. Grown men, 35 years old. I'm not hating anybody. That's what you want to do with your life. But I'm saying these are the things you call into question when you finally have this thing that you want. Okay? That's what a dream. Now watch this. This is a second part to the dream that's really important. Give me 5 more minutes on this thing, because this is the most important thing I can share with you today. Your self-image, you heard Minister Farrakhan say, your God-given innate thing inside of you, your self-image will determine the size of your dream. You don't feel good about yourself, if you don't feel worthy, if you don't feel like you were godly created, then you'll have a small dream, if any dream at all. But once you start to realize that you were put here for something definite, a definite purpose, and you start to seek that purpose, because the first thing you dream about may not be your purpose, I mean, I dreamed about being a professional basketball player for a decade. Okay, it didn't happen. Okay, so you understand. So, but when you start dreaming, one dream will lead you to the next dream, the next dream, the next dream. But you got to have a dream, but your self-image will determine the size of your dream. Now, they say that by the time we're all 14 or 15 years old, we've heard the word no somewhere in the neighborhood of 20,000 plus times.
Woo.
That impacts our self-image, what we believe we're capable of. So we set our goals based on what our parents done, based on what the neighborhood's done, what the friends done. We very seldom set aspirations beyond what we believe is possible. And what we believe is possible is what's been instilled in us. I'm the oldest of seven. I have 7 brothers and sisters. Well, one's passed away, but it was 8 of us. Okay. And I've asked myself hundreds of times, okay, where did this drive come from? Where did this thing come from? And I'm telling you, I don't know. But I've read enough books now to say there is something that my parents put inside of me. They say your self-image, by the way, how you feel about yourself is well defined before you're 4 or 5 years old. When I say self-image, I'm talking about your self-worth. I read a book called Self-Love maybe 30-something years ago. When I say self-image, I'm talking about how do you value yourself? How do you feel about yourself? Okay. Well, they said that's instilled in you by the time you're 4 or 5 years old. Or it's taken from you by the time you're 4 or 5 years. By the time you're 4 or 5 years old, you either think you're capable of doing a lot, or somewhere in your subconscious, you've already been convinced that you're never going to amount to much of anything.
Wow.
That's a horrible thought, man.
Wow.
Okay. And that's the only reason I can come up with why some people have this drive to do certain things and this belief that they can go conquer the world. And the next person said, man, I just want to get me a job down in the corner, make me a little money, I'll be all right. Okay. Now we can change. It's not permanent, but you have to ask yourself, what have I been believing about myself for the last 10, 20, 30, 40 years of my life? You got to ask yourself, what fears are holding me back? What things are in the way? We got a fast track right now. We're showing people how they can make $25,000 a week in the next 12 months. And then Mr. Delco broke out what's possible if you go enroll 5. And I've been holding them back on that. I said, Mr. Delco, I'm going to tell you why I don't want to talk about it. Because the average person we're talking to, they don't believe $25,000 a month, much less $25,000 a week. The average person, 90% of the population, don't believe they're capable of making 10 grand a month. Think about this now. 90% of the population we're out there talking to about this business, where we can show them how they can become a millionaire by choice. They don't believe it's even possible. And then when they see somebody do it like me or Mr. Delco or you guys, they're going to think you something exceptional. You know, instead of saying, wait a minute, if Brother Eric Teray can do this thing and have thousands of people in his downline and look and be on a fast track to becoming a multi-millionaire, if Brother Cox can do the same thing, instead of saying if they can do it, I can do it, they rather attribute you as being something unique and special, okay, instead of believing that they can do it themselves. So that's why we spend so much time working on reading books, listening to audio, plugging to the system, because we know we got to build a person. And we build a person, they'll start building they'll start dreaming bigger. When they start dreaming bigger, they'll start doing more and they'll build a business. This self-image thing is deep. Okay. Why you think so many networkers, and it's networking industry for 37 years. There's so many people of faith in the networking industry. Okay. It's almost everybody who seems to succeed in this industry have a strong fundamental belief in God. And people always ask me, why is that? I said, because I believe that fundamental foundation is you have to believe that you are divinely created in order to go pursue something great. Okay, it takes no faith to have a job, to go to work 5 days a week. There's no faith required that. You don't need God's help to do that. Well, you get God's help in doing it. But when you get a dream that you can't finance, that your skill set can't do, that your degree won't make happen, then that big dream gonna bring you to your knees and you start seeking a higher powerful assistance to help you bring that dream about. And when you build a business like this business we're in, this business will bring you to your knees. And if you in the right frame of mind, it's gonna keep you on your knees. Because look, if I was to sit here and say, man, look, man, I'm something special, boy. Look what I did. I got started and I, that's that word again, have built this team to 150,000 people. Boy, I'm something special. That's the height of hubris, and that's the height of stupidity. Okay, this is a genuine team effort, and all the God ordained things that have happened here. You can't, man. You can't. It will make you, if you're in the right frame of mind, it will humble you, and you'll say, "To God be the glory." You wake up in the morning. Look, I wake up in the morning and say, "To God be the glory," just for the phone call, Mr. Cox. I've only got one invitation, being Karatbars. Now you tell, from one phone call has come 150,000 plus people. Really more than that, because as you succeed in Karatbars, you have the whole world of Karatbars succeed. So anyway, I know that's a 15-minute answer to your question. That's why you only got 2 questions to be an hour. Why? You got that down. You gotta have a dream. Gotta have a dream. Gotta have a dream. Man, I got my dreams all over the house. You can't. I got them on the refrigerator. I got them on my bathroom window. Wait a minute. And I got my latest dream in my phone. See, I'm not telling you something I don't believe. Now, Lord says I haven't had a material dream. I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. In a long time. I mean, I haven't had something that give me. Look, I bought my first Rolex watch 20 years ago. I mean, I done had jewelry, I done had watch, I had all that stuff, but I haven't had something that got me juiced up, emotional in a long time. And then James Marshall, bless James Marshall. I'm gonna blame James Marshall for this. James Marshall put this doggone thing, the ghost. Man, and I don't know, folks. I'm telling you, I mean, I hate to talk about my dream because not about my dream. I'm telling you, you got to write the dream too. But man, I haven't got it. No. That thing, I don't know. It just called me. But the first time I saw it, it just looked at me like, this is yours. And I mean, I've been spent 8 years in the car business. I don't get emotional about cars. Lamborghinis, I done drove them all. I done drove Rolls Royce. I don't, but something about that white ghost just said, Tyrone. And I got emotional about that thing. And so I keep dreams around me all the time. Now, let me say something else. Once you get the dream, God, I got a cat. Man, it's going.
You're fine. You're fine.
Once you get the dream, then you gotta be willing to fight for that dream because somebody's gonna try to steal it. I mean, they don't mean to. Sometimes they're trying to protect you. Sometimes they're just being mean. But many times, parents, relatives, friends, they trying to protect you because when you dream big, chances are you're gonna fail before you get that dream. Okay. And as a parent, look, I don't want to see think about this. I don't want to see my children failing anything. Okay. One of the most stressful things I've been through in my entire adult life since I've been free. I've been free for 25 years. When you want to know the most stress I've been through really in 25 years, I know somebody's gonna say, Tyrone, you crazy. I got to share with you. The most stressful thing I've done in 25 years was take my son to get his driver's test.
That'll do
it. And you talk about, I mean, I've been teaching how to drive and everything. Now you guys said this is 15 years ago, almost 20 years ago now. And man, when we get there, that driver's license plate, man, and we go in there, he did all that kind of stuff, and then he got to do the driving tests. I mean, a sweat popping off my forehead, off my neck. I said, Lord, please, I hope he passed this test. See, we want to see our children succeed, and we want to protect them from failure. That's why I was using as an example. I mean, he passed the test and everything. Okay, there's a lesson in that too. Okay, because he was not that great a driver. At 16 years old. He really wasn't. And the instructor came back and she said, now, I'm going to tell you. She says, I really shouldn't pass him. She said, I really should. She said, because he just did some things. Okay, I tell you something. She said, but he drove well enough. He going to learn how to. She said, but he was the most polite young man that she's seen in years. I mean, literally. People skills everything, folks. She said, even when he made a mistake, she said, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Oh, you like me to do this? Okay, thank you, ma'am. I mean, he was just so polite. She says, she says, I passed him because I haven't seen a gentleman this polite, she said, in years. This is in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. And my son has driven the car for the last 20 years, accident free and the whole thing. So, I mean, so I'm telling you, anyway, all this make a point. So here's my point. You got to be prepared to fight. My first year we go to college, I had a well-meaning counselor in high school, told me I wasn't college material, told me I couldn't go to college. You said that's in my book. So you got to fight for it. And then let's go to this business. This business we're in. Okay. You got to have a dream for this business. The ultimate dream is freedom. But if you can't believe freedom, you got to have some dream. If it's just to pay the bills, or just to pay off MasterCard, or just to put extra, just to make $400 a month so you can quit that job, that extra job. Because so many people got 2 jobs. Right now, people are begging to have one. 50 million people, 50 million Americans have filed for unemployment. Man, okay. People need what we have. They don't know they need it, but they need it. So anyway, you got to win this fight. I said the dream, the struggle, and the struggle. I talk about how you overcome the struggle. Number one, you got to plug in. You got to plug in every day. I'm trying to speed this thing up because I know I get caught up. Second thing I said, you got to do the work. The work is sharing this with somebody every single day. Folks, compared to the work that we had to do in the 80s when my wife and I got started in business, I'm telling you guys, this is nothing. The work we have right now is more mental and emotional, but it's not physical. In 1983, we had to physically build a business. I had to come home from working a job all day, or hop in my car with a board and the easel and $500 to $1,000 of product, load that stuff in the car, and drive an hour to 2 hours from the house. Because everybody you wanted to put in the business, you had to go eyeball to eyeball. Hey, Mr. Marcel, you had to go eyeball to eyeball with them. Think about that now. Today, we said, go see this presentation at 12 o'clock. Okay, that power call we do every day, we do one of those a month. In the program I started in, you had to drive to it, and it cost you $100 to participate for the day. We go on a version of that almost every day for free online. Then we got these Zoom, and then people say this is hard. It's not hard. You got to go through the folks. So do the work. Share with everybody you can. And then the third thing, part of the struggle, is developing yourself. Because I said before, we all have a well-defined sense of inferiority by the time we're 14 years old, because we heard the word no so many times. So we have to stop putting information that start making us feel godly.
Come on.
As you heard one of the speakers, he says, confidence is important. Arrogance is confidence out of control. Okay, yes, you gotta be confident, but you can't become arrogant. You gotta be confident. You gotta feel deep in your gut that God put me here for something more than 40 to 6 hours a week on somebody's job. You got to get to that place in your head, and you got to start believing that. And once you start believing that, look, the animals are free, the dog's free, the deer's free, the bear's free. Okay, if you're God's greatest creature, why are you enslaved to something 6 hours a week? Woo! Okay, so freedom is possible, but it's not possible if you're not seeking it and if you don't even know it's possible. So it's important to read the book, to get the attitude, and start saying, you know what, I'm worthy of being free. And then after you get that, the prize is on the other side. And folks, I'm telling you, it took me 12 years to get free. You've heard me say I'd do it again if it took 20. The prizes, we got the first dream home, bought the first dream home sight unseen. Living in Los Angeles, bought it, got it sight unseen. Then built the second dream home. Okay, I'm talking about when you start talking about, can you imagine not having a job and you build a 7,500 square foot home? 6.5 baths. I didn't know how many bathrooms in the home. Somebody asked me, how many bathrooms in the house? I mean, I don't know. I had to go in the house today and count them myself. I went to each floor and counted the bathroom. I said, good God, it's 6.5 bathrooms house. Only 4 people. Okay. I said, you know, so if you go ghetto style, you know what waited. Can you imagine? Okay, I'm saying ghetto style. I say that you go, look, one bathroom was that. Look, some of you don't know about outhouses, so you too young to think about that. You young folk, you spoil young folk, you don't know about outhouses. Clears know what I'm talking about. Some of you ain't never been to outhouse. You ain't know what that is. Okay. But we thought we died. We got a house with indoor plumbing. You rolling. And you have one bathroom. Oh my Lord. Okay. Can you imagine growing up, one house, one bathroom, 10? Okay, everything was on shifts. You washed your face, took a shower, got cleaned up every morning on shift. You took baths on shifts. Okay, and for God's sake, don't go. You learn how to time yourself. You don't wait till the last one to go, baby. Anyway, I'm gonna get that. Okay, can you imagine though? 6.5 bathrooms. This bathrooms all around. Nobody ever waited in line to go to the bathroom. Can you imagine having 3 refrigerators in your house full of food? One on the basement floor, one in the garage. These are little things. The wealth and affluence got these things all the time. But can you imagine having all? I mean, we just stuff all just unimaginable. This is what's waiting for you on the other side of this struggle and this work, where you have this lifestyle that is just crazy. And none of this stuff happened for me overnight. I remember I won this big ring. It was a big diamond ring. It was called a Kentucky cluster. I dreamed about the thing from 1983. I didn't buy the thing until 1996. I think you got to wait that long now. We have a turbocharged opportunity now. Okay. I'm talking the dark ages, but I was willing to pay that price. Okay. I remember buying the first Mercedes, buying the first Escalade. All these things are possible. See, now I'm 65. I could care less about those things, except for the goats. I got to get the goats. Now. Okay. And Val's working on the third dream home. Okay. I don't want another building project though, because you haven't lived till you built a house. That creates a whole nother level of anxiety, building a house. Okay. It's just a whole other thing. I wanted, I want about 8,000 to 10,000 square feet just done. Okay. But that's a little tough. But here's my challenge. I want to stay on the peninsula. You guys know. So I'm telling you this stuff and say what's possible. I don't mean to talk about me and my goal. I want you to get these things in your mind. I want you to start dreaming. Okay. Val and I go out looking at houses, I'm gonna say 2 to 3 times every week. Right now. Where we going this afternoon? Well, we're going to get something to eat and we're going to drive around and look at some houses. Val, look at I'm talking about new stuff all the time. Okay. I saw one last week. I said, oh, anyway, that's another story. I'm telling you that for a reason. The prizes are out there. I mean, I was excited when I earned a Rolex watch from Carabal's International, but it wasn't the first one. I had to remind myself then to keep it in the box because, see, when you get on the other side of money and get these material things, they don't have the value. You learn to really put value in people. I get excited seeing other people achieve their dreams. I get excited seeing other people pay off their mortgage, buying new cars, leaving their jobs. I get more excitement from that because after a while you realize the material things are just that. They're just material things. Okay. And they come and go and they can be replaced. I mean, look, I bought that beautiful Escalade. I mean, Burgundy, man, Nick Cannon made me buy the Escalade because I saw a rap video with Nick Cannon driving a Burgundy Escalade. He planted that dream in my mind. He started calling me. I said, I got to get one. So I went out and got one. Okay. So it's to say, find that thing that motivates you to get you up in the morning. Anyway, enough said and say. I just spent 45 minutes talking about the dream. Let me show you. The biggest networker in this industry, guy named Dexter, may rest in peace, passed away about 2 years ago. Okay. He's been gone there for 2-3 years. His wife earns in excess of $10 million a year. And he's been gone from a business and legacy he's built. That's what you have your hands with Carabal's, to build a legacy for you and your family. It's there. Okay. Okay. Now I'm making a point here. You realize that's way more important than stuff. Stuff comes and stuff goes, stuff can be replaced. Okay. And you know that. You'll learn that once you get on the other side of this money thing, if you don't already know it. Some of you already know it, so I'm preaching to the choir. Okay. The dream. And the reason I mentioned Dexter, because if Dexter could come in and talk to you, this guy got a networking business in 1964. I mean, he spent almost 60 years in the network marketing business. That's where all this knowledge and stuff come from all these mentors I've been around for the first 10 years in the industry. Okay. If you gave Dexter an hour to talk to you, he spent 55 minutes talking about the dream. He would not spend that one time telling you how to prospect somebody, how to contact somebody, how to do a 3-way phone call. He was saying, once you figure out your dream, you'll figure out why. What we're doing is not that deep. Even though I just talked about it for 50 minutes like it is. It's not the dream, is where everything starts. When you get a dream, you figure out how to do this thing. And now with Wealth Builders Worldwide, think about this. If you're new on this call for the first time today, if you never talk to Brother Muhammad again, Brother Cox, or me again, if you got that website called myww.net or wealthbuildersworldwide.info, that's all the info you need to go build your business. So what's standing between you and success? It's the size of your dream, okay, and the size of your commitment. More than knowledge. Knowledge is not holding people back from building this thing. Okay? You got all the knowledge in the world. in Wealth Builders Worldwide. You're going to learn to go with his money, you're going to learn to do with the money, but we can't make a person cut the TV off until they have a strong enough reason to do it.
That's right.
Anyway, that took me 50 minutes to answer that question. It took me 30 minutes to answer that one question. You got another one?
Mr. Cox is on you.
Okay. In chapter 4 of your book, one of the enemies of success was the inability to stay focused. Can you tell us how we can what we can do to stay focused, more focused?
Wow. If I was to sort of rank all these enemies to succeed, I would say that's really okay. Outside of not having a dream, let's say so you got the dream out the way. You found something that you want. At least you got a trinket for that you really want to have. Then I say the number 2 thing is what you just said right there, Mr. Cox. And I'm not talking about this misleading idea of multiple streams of income. Okay, I want please remind me to talk about multiple streams of income in a minute. I'm talking about as an adult, there are so many things pulling us in so many directions. The order to focus on your dream, on that vehicle is going, the vehicle, not the dream, the vehicle is going to take you to your dream. You have to become almost fanatical. Mm-hmm. No, not almost. You have to become fanatical about your dream. I'm not talking about carry bars. I'm talking about you say you want to be free. Well, then you got to literally eliminate everything in your life that does not contribute to you getting free. Okay, if you want to be free anytime soon. Now, I know when people hear that, look, I love Jamil Muhammad, success ain't for punks. Okay, success is like Maya Angelou said, growing old is not for the weak. Okay, right. Okay, well, success is, you're not going to become successful, and you got all these. So watch this now. Here you are, you're a mother, and I'm talking to a mother. See, my heart goes out to women, especially single women. Well, my heart goes out to all women, especially because I don't believe nobody works so hard on this planet as women do.
Teach.
And if I have to say, especially black women, good God Almighty. Okay. Now I'm saying that because I know what my mother did. I don't want to talk to somebody that I get too emotional. Okay. But I say this because the average woman is working a job, if not 2. Then she coming home trying to figure out how to feed all the kids, manage all the household finance. She's like the chief accountant, the household technician. She's the mother, and in many cases, she's the mother and the father. Because even if there's a father in the house, he working 2-3 jobs trying to feed everybody if he's in the house. And we know for a fact in 50% of black households, there's no male there anyway. So now this woman is carrying this whole load. She working all day, trying to take care of the kids. And then, wait a minute, and then I talked to her Sunday. She got 3 businesses and a job. Now, who can handle 3 businesses and a job? Okay. And here's the challenge. Until they get into something like a networking concept where they learn to leverage some time, they will be bound to 2-3 jobs for 30 years and never get ahead. Okay. And never get ahead. They got to learn how to get into a leverage concept like carry bars. So anyway, so now, but I'm gonna get rid of all the job distractions. Let's just say they got one job, but still, even when you do that 8 hours, then you come home, you got to take care of the kids, take care of the house, take care of the bills in the house. Wait a minute. Then you got the cotillion going on over here. You got a funeral going on over here. You got football going over here. You got the bowl league over here. You got the sorority over here. You got this committee over here. You got 19 things putting on you every week. Then you're in the church, and then the church got choir rehearsal on Wednesday. They got the finance committee on Tuesday. And I mean, I'm talking all this stuff or distractions. And wait a minute. And then you got TV. And then you got your friends saying, you work too hard. You got to relax sometime. When you gonna take some time for yourself? And you got all that stuff. You never relax. We don't hang out no more. We don't go to the club no more. We don't, because I done heard that a bunch of times the last 30 years. Hey, we used to go to the club all the time. You got that networking thing, man. You don't even come out clubbing anymore. You don't come to the party anymore. You don't come to the cookout. You don't come to the barbecue. You don't come to the event. All that stuff. I'm not saying you can't ever go, but man, you got to have some strength to ignore all that noise and focus. And most people, it's tough to do. It's tough to do. And then you got a death in the family, and you got a funeral in the family, and this happened. And we're on this emotional roller coaster, all this stuff going on. The number 2 challenge, Mr. Cox, you just hit it, man, is that ability to focus. The inability to focus is the problem. Can you focus? Now, I'm going to tell you, most of my friends and family said, Tyrone, when I saw freedom, I became an all-out fanatic. We on the line. I became an all-out fanatic. Not about selling soap and networking. I became an all-out fanatic about freeing me and my family. I was a nutcase about it. They said the only thing standing between me and financial independence for me and my family was me being willing to do the work. And I'm talking about, man, you talking about I spent every Sunday watching NFL like everybody else until I saw networking. I spent 2 to 3 hours in the gym 6-7 days a week until I saw networking. Okay. I was in a nightclub 3-4 days a week until I saw networking. Okay. I was a walking TV guide, as you heard me say before. The young folks don't know what TV guide is. It's a little magazine you print every week. They had all the TV shows listed. Young for young, I know you got it. Don't see it. I'm talking something been around so long. I gotta explain what I talk when I say 8 tracks and cassettes. Like, what are you talking about? What's that? What's a cassette? You know, I had one around here somewhere. Those young folks, that's a cassette. Oh God. Anyway, and so I look, hey, the radio's a distraction. I mean, I was driving for a living, 7 o'clock in the morning. I drive 2 hours to my account. I had a radio playing all day. I cut the radio off in 1983, in April 1983, cut the radio off of my car. It ain't been on since. Now, I know Tom Jordan wouldn't like me saying that, but I'm just telling you what I did. Okay. But it goes to guys who got a radio show, they won't like me saying this. He said, why come to me you don't talk about Carabas? Carabas does hundreds of millions of dollars in business, never been on TV. That's why the media don't like us. You're not going to find television going to say something great about network marketing. Why? Because we're doing billions of dollars of business a year, and we don't use Madison Avenue to advertise it. They take all that money they pay to Madison Avenue. See, all that money Walmart's paying Madison Avenue. Okay. All that money Amazon advertising. All the money all those companies advertise on TV. Carabas take that money and pay to us.
Teach.
Okay.
Talk to the world.
Every manufacturer out there, they spend 20 to 25% of their revenues that come in. For every dollar they come in, they take 25 to 30% of that dollar and they advertise on TV to get you to go buy that merchandise. Okay? How you think they pay NBA salaries, ball player salaries? Because the manufacturers pay that money on advertising. See, that's a distribution network in itself. Then here comes network and say, you know what? We're going to pay you, Mr. Muhammad. You create your distribution network through word of mouth. And instead of paying that money to Madison Avenue, we're going to pay it to you. We're going to pay it to you, Mr. Cox. So the bigger your network, and if you want to become free, you got to build a network. The freest people in the world all have networks. See, and by the way, and the networks, man, believe it, they had it locked down. Folks, watch this history. Radio is a closed network. Radio is the minimum, the way to get the word out about anything throughout the 20s, the 30s. Is all radio. Everybody had a radio. Advertiser, that was a closed network. You got your stuff on that radio, you got it advertised. Then along comes television. Television, network radio saw television as a genuine threat. And it was. But what the radio people didn't see was every sudden everybody gonna be in their car 20, 30 hours a day listening to the radio. People don't listen to radio at home, but they listen to radio of what? When they're in their car. Okay, so the marketplace shifted. But all of a sudden that television became a closed network. And think about this, there were only 3 networks up until cable. ABC, NBC, CBS. Closed network. And if you couldn't get the dollars, the advertising network, you couldn't get your product in the marketplace.
That's right.
Procter & Gamble dominated the marketplace because they saw the power of television and advertising. And at one point in the 50s and 60s, they knew you could become a millionaire overnight. Just take your product and advertise on TV, and you became an instant millionaire because people would buy it. It's just numbers. If 10 million people saw the ad and 1 million people bought it, you just did millions of dollars of business. That's why it costs $2 to $3 million to run an ad during the Super Bowl now. A 30-second spot, $3 million. Why? Because 200 million people see it. Anyway, I'm getting a point here. Go ahead, Mr. I'm sorry.
No. I'm sorry to interrupt the point. You in the book you talk about imagined status, and when we look at athletes, celebrities, and we have it in our mind that they're the end all, the be all. At the same time, we see them maybe on the court, maybe on the field, maybe in a movie. Then they're making all these cameo appearances and commercials and things of that nature. Are they doing it, in your opinion, because they just want to do it?
They get paid to do it. They get paid and compensated to do it. Okay. They've gotten access to the network, and people buy brands. If LeBron James says buy something, they go buy this tennis shoe. Michael Jordan say buy this shoe. I mean, Michael Jordan built a whole corporation, built Nike. Okay, period. One guy. Okay. That's the power of television. And then we've been so conditioned by television. If we sit on TV, we think it's true. And we don't see it on TV, we don't think it's real. Okay. I mean, so all that stuff. But when you start talking about imagined status, man, that's a whole nother seminar in itself too. Because that's one of the things that stop you from building a business. Look, America has played a trick on most people. And the trick is America want to make you feel like you're succeeding, but you don't realize you haven't succeeded till the job kicks you off, lays you off, or the 401k crashes, or you get 65 or 70 years old and you go, oh my God, what have I done? Okay. Yesterday, Val read an article about a food bank that needed, on the average, was $500,000 of food a year to feed the homeless. It was in West Virginia. This year they need $2 million. And there are people out there saying, I used to donate food to this food bank. Now I'm standing in line to get the food. I used to hear a long time ago, it says, you're going to pay the price of success now, or you're going to pay it later, but you're going to pay it. If you pay it now ahead of time, okay, you find yourself in a better position. But now here's, getting back to your status comment, Mr. Muhammad, is that America wants to make you feel good. And the unrest you see around the world right now is because the wealthy have exploited the normal person, the average person, to the point to where we're sick and tired of it. And you got nothing to do with ethnicity. They're sick and tired of this exploitation all around the world. You got the 1% that's dominating the financial community for the last 100 years because of what I was alluding to about those networks, ABC, NBC, CBS. Then cable came and spread that vision around so other people had access. Okay. Then a company like Amway started in 1959, become the fastest company in the history of America to reach $1 billion in sales. Took them 21 years to do it. And they messed around and create all these millionaires because of that concept. And these people said, why didn't people say something positive about it? Why? Because they're doing billions of dollars a year and don't spend any money advertising. Okay. And so that's why I was going with that. Then the status thing, one of the biggest challenges we all have to come over is when you decide you want to build a network marketing business, okay, or a licensed e-commerce company like Caraboss, you just told all of your friends and relatives that what you're doing is not working financially. Woo! It's an admission of you're not where you want to be. Now, understand, if you've done everything society told you, if you went to high school, you went to college, you went and got your master's degree, you done paid $100,000, got your MBA, and then you run around selling vitamins. Man, you just told, I mean, you might have the Mercedes in the front, you might have a 5,000 square foot home with 2 Mercedes in the driveway, but the minute you go out there, you start doing some kind of side hustle, especially if you're highly educated, especially if you got a doctor in front of your name, you just told the rest of the world this education, okay, is not giving me what I want. I'm not where I want to be. You may think I am, but you just admitted to the rest of the world that you are not as financially successful as you want to be. You might belong to the country club. You might look good when you pull up in the curb, you put them in church on Sunday, and that's $80,000 Mercedes. But when you get into this business, it's an admission that you are not where you want to be. That's tough, man. Bill Britt, one of the wealthiest guys in the network marketing industry, he passed away too, made a statement. He says, the more education you have, the lesser your chance of ever becoming financially independent. Now, that's contrary to what we've been led to believe. We've been led to believe the more education we have, the more money we're going to make. Well, in a job, but that's going to be capped out at some point. Okay, the more we dream and the more we think about free enterprise, the more money we can make. You heard Mr. Dalco said last year he made more money than most. Mr. Dalco last year made more money than probably 98% of all the doctors in America.
That's right.
Some very specialized surgeons. And he did it from home with no employees, no overhead, no place to go, and no college debt. Think about how contrary what we're doing really is. And now you talk the revolution. You said ready for the revolution, Brother Eric, man.
Yes, sir.
This 90-day fast track that we put in place now, all the person got to do it. Now, I know I'm going to say something radical, but I'm just saying, look, we're going to have a lot of smart people who are going to miss this. A lot of smart people going to miss this because they're going to get caught up in trying to get all the facts and all the details. Let me tell you something. You want to come wealthier? Shut your brain down and do what we recommend you do. Okay? And try to teach on your teams, look, shut your brain down for a minute. We don't want you to overthink this. There are only two things you got to do to become a millionaire in carry bars right now. They're really just two. Well, let's say after you got the registration out of the way, get a number 4-pack. Go enroll 2 people, get a number 4-pack. Teach them to go enroll 2 people, get a number 4-pack. Now you can enroll more. That means it happens faster. But if you just enroll 2 and you duplicate that every single week and 12 weeks, you're at $25,000 a month. I mean, a week in income. Think about it. Think about what I just said. You don't have to go. There are people going to college. They're going back getting their master's degree, getting their MBA, getting their doctorate because they want to make more money. Forget all that for a minute. Yeah, you can do that too. But register here. Spend $700 to get you a number 4-pack. Find 2 people on a planet of 7 billion who get a number 4-pack. Say, no, don't you rest until you find 2 people that get a number 4-pack. Don't you rest until you find 2 people that get a number 4-pack. And you can do that. You can do it in 25. You can do it in 1 hour. We got people done in an hour already.
That's right.
It's not that big a deal. Now, if we want to teach you everything that's going on in carry bars, that takes days, if months, if not years. But it only takes 10 minutes to show you how to become a millionaire. Get a number 4-pack. Okay. Go get 2 people, get a number 4-pack. And duplicate that. Think about, man, that is so radical. You've been educated all your life, indoctrinated all your life to get an education, get 12 years, get 4 years, get 2 more years, go get your doctorate, and you're going to be the elite of society. And then here we are saying, hey, we got this gold program. Get a number 4-pack. Get 2 people, get a number 4-pack. Teach them to duplicate that process. And in 12 weeks, you're going to be at $25,000 a week. That's $100,000 a month. That's $1 million a year. Not in assets. That's $1 million a year in income. Oh, wait a minute. And all the while, you're accumulating gold. You're accumulating crypto. We're going to educate you about crypto, gold, getting a living trust, how to handle your tax. We're going to educate you on all that stuff later. Okay? You're going to be calling and saying, okay, look, I just made $40,000 last week. Somebody got to help me show me what to do with this money. I don't know what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. That's the kind of problem you're going to have. But we got the answer for those problems for you, folks. Okay? We got the answer for those problems for you. Woo. I know it's 9 o'clock. I'm gonna go a few minutes if you guys allow me, because I do have somewhere I got to run before the power call today. But anyway,
yes, sir. We got time. We're free. Matter of fact, Mr. Cox.
Yes, sir.
Do you have to clock in anywhere?
I don't have to clock in anywhere.
Oh yeah. I don't have that issue either.
Hey, look, that right there. You're looking at a historic moment, right? You're looking at 3 free men on 1 call. See, when I got started in 1983, that was rare. When I went in that first seminar, that guy on stage talking about freedom, I was like, what is this guy talking about? Okay. But folks, I can tell you so many things have been predicted that have come true because of networking, me being around visionaries in this industry who saw things and saw who were going in this industry. That I'm 28 years old. I was a child. I hate to say 20 years a child, but see, when you get 65, somebody tell you 20 years old, you go, oh, that poor baby. Okay. That's so it's not to be condescending, but believe me, folks, when you get around people who've been, I don't care what, now, this has nothing to do with their money. Okay. I don't care if they 50, 60, 70 years old, they got something to teach you. And nothing to do with net worth, right? Nothing to do with the car they driving. They have learned something. If nothing else, they've learned what not to do. You meet a 65-year-old, 70-year-old, say, man, working at Walmart. So why do you think you're working here? And they'll tell you, because I did this. When other people, when I should have been on my grind in my 20s and 30s, you know what I was doing? I was going to the club 5-6 nights a week. You know, I was having a good time. Instead of investing in my future, I was going on a cruise every single year for 40 years. Ain't nothing wrong with, see, I'm not criticizing any of those things because we've been conditioned to do those things. We haven't been conditioned to set ourselves up to be free. Okay? So that's why I'm so hard on those things, because I know those things are distractions. This is a 12-week focus. Can you focus? And Mr. Delco did the numbers last night. He and Mr. Roger Williams talking about what happens if you go get 5. I said, I told you I don't want to show it. 5, the numbers, you get 5 who when you get 5 who duplicated, you done made enough money in the next 12 weeks to set your family up for about 10 years. It's crazy. People out here struggling. Man, please. People are struggling because we've been conditioned to go seek money in an old model. It's like you find somebody walking back and forth to work. You say, hey, you know you can catch a bus or you can get on a car. But they said, no, man, ain't messed that new technology. You know, that bus may break down. I mean, you understand when Henry Ford didn't invent the car, so we ain't gonna get into that whole thing. He really invented the assembly line process, and he really didn't invent that assembly line process. Do you know where Henry Ford got the assembly line process from? I know I'm full of George Washington Carver.
Come on.
I mean, you understand, Henry Ford did not create the assembly line. He got that from George Washington Carver, sent out about plants. And why do you think they call it a plant? They call it the assembly plant. Okay, and when he visited George Washington Carver, and George Carver was showing him how he got all these plants, how he does this, and this part is planted here, the water's done here, and all this kind of stuff. And Henry Ford took that whole process and said, wait a minute, we can put this together to make, instead of making one car at a time, put together a line of cars and have people similar, putting those cars together piece by piece by piece. And when he did that, it sped up the process. Because this guy's putting on the transmission, this was put on the engine, this put on the body, this put on the wheel, this was shine up, and then boom, drive off the assembly line. That's what he's famous for. But people thought he's crazy because they said, you know, he went bankrupt twice in trying to start the Ford Motor Company, twice before he ever got it off the ground. Well, he got stolen from him by one. Anyway, that's some crazy history, man. You know, the people who put together General Motors, go back to history. They stole that from Henry Ford, but that's another story. Okay, that's another cut. Let's see one of them little things. Anyway, but Henry Ford had this vision, okay, at a time when everybody's riding around on a horse. And he said, and he believed that one day there was going to be cars, and he said a car in every drive. He just said 2, 3 cars. He just said a car in every drive. Can you imagine 1903? Everybody got a horse and a buggy, and you had to tell me there's gonna be a car in every driveway. And people going, man, car do what? That car make noise. They break down every 5 miles. They make all that noise out. They scaring the horses. Man, that thing will never. The majority of the population said that thing will never fly. It'll never get off the ground.
How about this, Mr. Best? The fact that he not only said that, but he said it'll be on highways, and people didn't even know what a highway was.
So we're gonna build interstates and stuff. Gonna connect. He's like, you guys crazy. Okay, and at that time, the average person never traveled much more, they said, than 40 to 50 miles from where they were born. I mean, see, so now let's relate to the Terry Boss. Here we are, ushering and educating people that gold is money. Woo. Man, that's a whole revolutionary thought. That gold is money. It's the original money. It's real money. And they say we're gonna have a gold-based economy. We see it happening right in front of us. You go in the store and they don't want to give you coins. They don't. Look, I went to the store. They try to get laid $100 bill. She said, "Do you have anything else?" They won't take the paper cash. No, I mean all this stuff is happening in plain sight. But sometimes people don't see it. It's happening in plain sight. And we're here now. We're talking about making this money in the next 12 weeks. We ain't spend no time talking about that V999 coin. All that stuff slows down the money for right now. Oh, but the V999 coin, and we got it from Good Authority. That Good Authority is Dr. Harold Seitz. And he tell you right now, okay, that coin is going to be bigger than carrot bars. Ooh, the carrot bar is huge. Okay, I love. He said that coin in itself is going to be bigger than all the carrot bars. Okay. Focus on this first, though. Okay, focus on this next 90-day run first. Because see, I'm gonna tell you something. We as a team, everybody go get that number 4-pack. We tell you get that number 4-pack. We will create so much energy and excitement. We've done it in the last 72 hours. But wait, we got 90 days on our belt. I'm talking about this day in and day out, and we got new people coming in, and in their first month they're making 10 grand. Okay, they're going, whoa! I told this week. I told this one lady, I said, you can make 10 grand this week. It was yesterday. She said, I don't see how. I said, I know. I said, duplicate this thing fast. She got the network already in place. I said, you communicate to your people first. Do what we ask you to do. Don't sack and get. Just do what we ask you to do and watch the money. In the next, I said, you'll make that in the first month without even trying hard. I said, just communicate this message. Why do you think we're doing a presentation again tonight? We do it at 12/9, and then we're doing a private presentation to really talk about the money at 10. Okay, man, we got something here. This thing is special. And wait a minute, and you compare that to all the other money stuff and opportunities that people are involved in out there in the marketplace right now. Look, guy, I've been around 37 years. Truthfully, I ain't seen nothing grow as fast as what's happened in the last 6 months with I don't even want to call the name because I'm not trying to give it credibility, but let's say these money games that people are playing out there where you put $500 in to get $4,000 in, okay? Because I ain't hating nobody. Do what you got to do, okay? So I don't want to go down that road, okay, with folks, but I'm trying to say that is an example of people are looking. And if they're willing to put in $500 to get $4,000, then put $500 again and get $4,000, we got the old track record, huh?
And get it one time.
Okay, we got a 9-year-old tracker. We said get a number 4-pack one time, and it's gonna pay you forever. Man, please. We just gotta get the word out. That's all we gotta do is get the word out. Okay, when that gonna happen in the next 90 days. I believe this next 90 days is going to create the kind of momentum that might carry us for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And then you stop seeing people take that money they generate in the next 90 days, because this is leading right up to what? The introduction of the V999. And you're going to see folks getting that coin like crazy. And then you're going to get paid residual income on that coin 10 generations deep. That's why it's important to build your team now. August, September, October. Woo, get that team in place as much as you possibly can. So now you're building residual income. Man, I don't want to get down the road. Let's go back to just look, go get your number 4-pack. Teach me to get in number 4-pack and let's go. Okay. Last time, I've covered the things I want to talk about. Okay. Guys, I get excited about this stuff. I come up, I woke up this morning, have anything to say, and now you got me all cranked up.
Well, we want to thank you for allowing us that opportunity. Mr. Cluis Cox, you have any more questions or comments for Mr. Best?
No, I don't. Mr. Best, you did remind you to talk about multiple streams of income.
Okay. Now watch this. The first book that talk about Robert Allen is the guy who sort of coined that phrase. A guy named Robert Allen. Robert Allen made his money in real estate. So you got to know this stuff. There's always a story behind the story. And so Robert Allen wrote a book called Multiple Streams of Income. I think like Jesus Christ, might be 1990. First time he wrote that book called Multiple Streams of Income. But Robert was not talking about being in 8 network marketing programs. He's not a network marketer. Okay, he was talking about you got your job, then you might have some income coming from real estate, or you might have another business here, or you might have income from different investments. Somehow that got morphed to this industry where people think multiple streams of income is having 5 different network marketing companies. And I've had people over the last 30 years try it over and over and over again and never ever succeed. Okay. Now I'm gonna say this one more time. I say it every month anyway. Okay, I'm gonna say it again next month too. I only been in 37 years. I have not seen anybody yet build 2 companies to $100,000 a year. Now, please hear what I'm saying. I know folks, including myself, who made $100,000 from 2 different companies, but I was not building them at the same time. I built one, got that to 100 grand a year, and then I said, oh, I think I want to do this thing over here. And I started doing this thing over here and got that to 100 grand. The other one was still paying me. Okay. I make the statement. You're not, somebody told me you can ride 2 horses. No, you're going to ride 1 horse. You might drag the other horse behind you. Okay. But you're not riding both of them. Okay. You might still be benefiting from one you built. But typically the person who's asked me, I said, have you enrolled anyone in Carabas in the last 90 days, 30 days since you've been doing other things? They said, no. I said, see, so you're not riding 2 horses. You built one, you left that one, and now you're doing something else. And that's your right. I'm not hating anybody to do that. But I'm saying to tell a new person who can barely get one done, okay, who can barely get one done, they're going to do 2 or 3 one time. I got a friend of mine. He had this idea called Just 10. He said, look, I don't see any reason in the world why you can't build 10 of these things at one time. You can have your legal services company, you got your skincare company, you got your vitamin company, you got the blah, 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 blah. And he had this thing. So you're going to roll them in 10 different things. We're going to blow these things up. We're going to have $1 million. So if one goes down, you got, man, it just don't work. Building a network marketing is almost like building a church. It's the closest thing to building a church you ever want to be, or building a religious community. Why? Because watch this now, watch this. Because you can only promote one doctrine at a time. Okay? I don't care who you are. You can be Brother Jamil Muhammad is one of the best communicators I've ever met in my life. But I guarantee you, he can't pull off being a 7-day Adventist on Friday. Okay. And then a Jehovah's Witness on Saturday. Okay. A Baptist on Sunday and a Muslim on Monday. And that brother got some skills, but I guarantee you, he can't pull that off. Okay. Not well. Okay. Not well. Well, that's what you were trying to do when you said you call somebody, say, I got 4 deals for you. I got a skincare. You don't like that? Okay, great. I got my legal service company. Okay. You don't like that? Okay, great. I got my carrot bars. Okay, great. You don't like that? Okay. Well, wait a minute. It don't work. Okay. Now, another reason it won't work. Your focus is not just your time, Brother Cox. It's also your resources. Okay. If you got $200 a month to put in your business, would it serve you better to have $200 a month directed towards one activity or to 4? It's common sense. Okay. What if you had a company that required you to be on auto saving all of them? So you're gonna be in auto saving 5 different companies. Now you're $500. Let's say each one want $100 just to make math easy. That's $500 going in 5 different directions. I know it would serve you better if it was going in one direction, one company, one idea, one concept. Okay. You go to somebody's house and you say, look, I'm gonna run this thing. We run Carabas by them. They say, well, I'm already in Carabas, so don't worry about that. I got this other thing. They look at you, you come off flaky.
That's right.
Okay. You can't lead people in 3 different directions. And by the way, while I'm on that subject, and every time you change, it's like a rubber band. You drive your people this way, and then you call them and say, oh, you know what? Carabas was a good idea 3 months ago, but I found a better deal. Now watch this. They were growing. I'm talking internally growing, mentally growing. And then when you move into another thing, they literally fall back. They don't grow to the next thing. I'm not saying for everybody. My wife has been around the industry for a long time. We learned to change on the dime. Paul Zane Pilzer said your security in the future is your ability to learn, to change, and to adapt. I heard that 30 years ago. I never forgot it. He said, how fast can you learn? How fast can you change? How fast can you adapt? Because we live in a society where things are changing just like that. Think about this, folks. This last man, okay, now I'm gonna be done at 9:30 for real. I'm leaving you guys at 9:30. I gotta go. But watch this. Do you know, Mr. Delco and I had these conversations. Mr. Delco, I don't understand why these other network marketing companies are not using the internet. They're not on Instagram. They're not on Facebook. I mean, we're in the people business, right? And there's 2 billion people on Facebook. To me, that means everybody out there networking should be just all over Facebook like crazy. But they're not. You know why? Because most of the leaders and all these other companies are old school. They've been running around doing meetings, and they still run around doing meetings, getting in somebody's face. Okay. And we sit here, and I'm telling you, I had the organization that was 40,000 people strong, and I had only done like 26 eyeball meetings. I used to do 26 meetings in a month back in the 80s and 90s. I do that in 1 month. I hadn't done that in 3 years in Caribars, 4 years in Caribars. Okay? Because of the technology and because of people like Mr. Delco, Roger Williams, these folks who, I'm old school. They had to bring me into the technology. You hear me joke all the time. When that Facebook Live thing came, I said, Mr. Delco, how you do that? He said, Tyrone, just turn your Facebook on, see that thing's live, press that button and talk. I said, whoa, oh, wow. Okay, that was it. Now I made some other little videos, but I mean, so but man, now, and watch this. Then COVID hit. Damn, gotta change. Now all of a sudden, pastors of churches realize we can do online services. We got all these network marketing companies. They're still, Jonathan, they're just 6 months later getting on the Zoom platform. 6 months later, learn how to do something on Facebook. 6 months later, utilizing Facebook to recognize, man, we've been doing that stuff. That's why we're so far ahead of the rest of the industry and what we're doing and how we utilize this technology. And that's thanks to people who had that skill, like Mr. Cox, like Brother Eric Teray Muhammad, got class at the session 8 o'clock every morning. University coming right to your doorstep every morning. A wealth of information every morning. Woo, man, that people paying for, going to college. And look, and then here come the college saying the tuition is still 40 grand, but we're gonna send it to you on your laptop. And my brain is going, wait a minute, if they're not gonna be in a class with a professor, why the tuition is still 40 grand? That's another seminar. See, when you're free, that's kind of stuff you sit around and think about. You go, let me get this straight. Okay, I was paying $40,000 for the class, staying in the dormitory, going to class, but now I'm gonna sit home on my computer and you still gonna charge me 40 grand for the experience. Woo! Why all these businesses going out of business? Because they realized, wait a minute, let me see something here. I mean, all these clothing stores have figured out, wait a minute. We don't need all these stores. These folks are going online, buying this stuff and having it shipped direct to their doorstep. Okay? I was in business with a guy in 1996, 95, 96. That's 25 years ago. He created a network marketing company I was a part of, and he created it. He's 25 years ahead of the marketplace. He still got this mall, and you paid for it. He's got this mall. He put it coming on Canadian Stock Exchange. So he got this mall, and watch this, and people going to the mall, and the mall going to be the Nike store, all online. You go into the Nike store, you come to the Nike store, you go into the vitamin store. And so our concept was these online stores. Like Amazon's an online store, all the stores in Amazon. But he had a thing where he had a character like a cartoon, like a emoji. You walk into the Nike store and buy what you want. You walk to the other store and buy what you want. You walk to the other store and buy what you want. 25 years ago. By the way, folks, in case you don't know this man, okay, I got 1 minute. Be proud of the business that you're in. I'm here to tell you that almost everything you see today, from movies to products and goods and services, network marketing companies have created that industry before there was an industry. Network marketing created a motivational speaking self-help industry. Network marketing created Les Brown, Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy. Network marketing created those folks. Network marketing created look, the nutritional industry would not exist today if it wasn't for network marketers. We're the ones that educated people on the fact that vitamins could enhance your health. We did that. Okay? Nutrilite started in the late 30s. We did that. We educated people, okay, on the benefits of health, on being a vegan, on benefit of vet. We did that stuff. We instituted that stuff, not mainstream media. They grab hold of and talk about it later. Okay, after it, we created a home-based business. I mean, now everybody got a home-based business. In 1983, they thought my wife and I were crazy. Man, you got them good jobs. Why are you trying to do a business out of your house? Nobody does a business from home. And you had no credibility if you work from home. And now COVID comes along, everybody working home.
Right.
You at home making some money, if you got to make some money, or you about to go broke. Man, you should never give me a window and say, go ahead and talk, man, because I got so much stuff going on up here about what's happened the last year. I have so much love and respect for this industry. I watch what it's done. And I'm going to tell you one last story. One last story. Give me a minute. Okay, all right, boy. One last story. The guy, Bill Britt, said that the day will come. He said, the biggest house in every neighborhood, the biggest house in every neighborhood you go into will be owned by a network marketer. He said, you go all across the world and you're going to see who owns the house. It's going to be somebody in network marketing. He said that back in 1978, 79. Okay, I get in the industry in 1983. I'm on listed audio and saying, man, that's a bold prediction.
Mm-hmm.
You fast forward to 2005. I'm sitting in my neighborhood one day and it dawned on me. I had the biggest house in the neighborhood. And I'm sitting there and I recall him saying that. I'm thinking to myself, now, by the way, that was not the plan. Please hear when I say this. When my wife and I, we said, this is the house we want. It can only be built on this particular lot in this subdivision. It's a private community, the whole work. It can only be built on this lot. Now, we didn't know, but the real estate agent was selling it to other people who bought houses. That guy right there got the biggest house in the neighborhood. And when I heard her say that, one day I went. And then I remember that audio that Bill Britt made. And then I started looking at other neighborhoods. And I knew I'm running around Atlanta with other networks who were full-time in industry. And they had one of the biggest houses in their neighborhood. I'm going, wow. And no job. This is your future. We're witnessing the biggest wealth transfer in the history of mankind. Is taking place right now in plain sight. Gold's over $2,000 an ounce. It's happening right now, and you're a part of it. I encourage you to take full advantage of this, man. Plug into everything. Get your number 4-pack. When you talk to folks, say get your number 4-pack now. And when they start talking about anything, say, look, I don't want to talk about that right now. The most important thing for you to get your number 4-pack. You want to learn other stuff? Plug into all the training we do. Get on the training tomorrow night. But what I'm looking for right now, I'm looking for 2 people who want to get their number 4-pack right now. Let's go. The other stuff you can learn later. Be polite, but that's where you want to go. Thank you, guys.
Mr. Best, thank you. Thank you so much. Y'all throwing some thunderous applause and virtual claps for our brother, friend, leader, and teacher, Mr. Ty Best. So let me give you a couple of housekeeping rules here. You know, we're moving toward the power call. That's at 10:45 on our events platform, www.gorocks.info. You know, go to that platform, 10:45 Eastern. Join us with Brother Consul Hotep Atum, who I see applauding Mr. Best now as we speak. Hey, Brother Consul. So be sure that we show up and see the presentation at 10:45 as well as 12 noon. Get the structure, get the format, get the understanding of what the opportunity is in front of you. Then at 9 p.m., Mr. Best will be back with you on the same platform, www.goldrocks.info, and he's going to share with you more about the fast track to freedom, the 90-day run to freedom. It's accomplishable. It's doable. Many of us are on track. Many of us, I didn't say many of them. Many of us are on track, and you can be too. You can absolutely be too. Hey, Brother Reggie Scott, good to see you, soldier. You know, so understand, family, for those who are hearing this program for the first time, never been introduced to it, and you've been invited by someone on this platform. If you came from a page from any of these leaders here, then get back to them and let them know you're ready to get started. Some of them have put their phone numbers in here. Those of you who know you were invited by those persons, get back to them and let them know you're ready to get started. You want to know more, and let us get you started. Those of you who have been here for myself or Mr. Cox or any of the leaders that are following this stream and sharing it out, it all amounts to the same thing. Get your free gold savings account, get your package, get started. Mr. Cox, any closing comments, sir?
I'm just happy to be here. I appreciate the opportunity, and it's been a great day.
Man, I want to thank all of you for the opportunity of sharing. Thank you all for allowing us to be here. We had an extended class today. Thank you, everybody, for sharing it out, getting the word out. And those of you who are still looking for that clip, who may not have gotten it yesterday, it is available to you. You can get it from the Eric Teray Muhammad Facebook page, or you can email me. Someone can share the email address that they used. Just use it, put it in the comments, and type video, and you'll get a 22-minute or so video on the fast track, the 90-day run to freedom. $25,000 a week. I think you can do that in 12 weeks. All right. Get back to the one who introduced the opportunity to you. Thank you, family. We are up and out of here. We will see you on the other side of money because, hey, that's what we do. I'll see us all 10:45. Oh, I'm sorry. I did forget. I was almost gone. 90-day run to wealth. I'm sorry. The 2020 Paper to Gold Run to Wealth Conference and Expo. That's August 22nd. We only got a few days left for the advanced tickets. So that $11 will get you a multi-million-dollar experience. Mr. Todd Best will be there. Mr. Michael L. Dalco will be there. Sister Kimberly Broomer, Brother Kenneth Harrison, Brother Tony Shambly. All of us will be on the set, and we're doing everything from private family banking, estate planning, land and real estate acquisition, along with gold accumulation. You want to be there, folks. www.run2wealth.info. www.run2wealth.info. All right. And of course, you know the rules with our power calls. So thank you again, family. Peace and power. I will see us all on the other side of money. Thank you, Brother Cluis.
Thank you, Brother Eric.
Peace. Strong words. Love. Soul. And change. Yeah. This is Big Snoop Dogg. Coming at you live and direct. And I got something to say. You dig?
Let's change the world. Divided we fall, but united we stand. Let's change the world. No fights, no wars. Oh, let's learn to love again. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Whoa, oh, oh. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's make hope for the future.
Brother, what will you discover if we come together and do it like we never? I'm just sick and tired. I'm fit to light the fire. Now put this on the wire. The devil is a liar. I do this with no hesitation. Meet me at the reservation. Elevating, educating, meditating, concentrating. Replenish ya, finish ya, opposite of sinister. And I do it for the minister.
Let's change the world. Divided we fall, but united we stand. Let's change the world. No fights, no wars. Oh, let's learn to love again. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Whoa, oh, oh. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's make hope for the future.
Somebody need to stop the war. Man, the war ain't overseas, it's at your front door. And I done seen too many brothers shot up on the floor for more than drugs and some colors. And now you call us warlords. But if you can help it, then help it. But you ain't helping us. You so selfish and selfless, you wanna see us breathless and helpless. But I'ma hustle and tussle for all my brothers who struggle. Yeah, we bang the world. Now let's change the world.
Let's change the world. Divided we fall, but united we stand. Let's change the world. No fights, no wars. Oh, let's learn to love again. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Whoa, oh, oh. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's make hope for the future.
No killing, no shooting, no dying, no lying, no gang banging, so no more mamas crying. Everybody get along, man, that be the perfect song. Peace in the streets as I sit back on my phone, chilling with the president. He let me in the White House, back to the castle with the minister. No doubt, shoes at the front door. Love is what you come for. Let's get it right and unite, but do it front
Let's change the world. Divided we fall, but united we stand. Let's change the world. No fights, no wars. Oh, let's learn to love again. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Whoa. world. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's make hope for the future.